There have been more French players in the Premier League than any other nation. To celebrate our imports from across the shore, we give you the 50 best French players in Premier League history, starting with numbers 50 to 26. Kickstarting the list in rather unspectacular fashion is Antoine Sibierski. Sib won't mind us saying that he's not exactly a Premier League great, but with spells at Manchester City, Newcastle and Wigan Athletic, he did leave a lasting impact, pulling out some absolute firecrackers along the way and boasting one of the shiniest heads to date. Less fireworks and something of more like half-ignited sparklers, we have Steve Marley. Having joined Fulham for a staggering 11 million, the forward-come-winger was supposed to set the world on fire at Craven Cottage. He failed to live up to the hype, but still, he hit 11 goals in 54 appearances. I mean, you try playing in the Premier League. 48, who remembers Pascal Chimbonda? Well, he made over 150 EPL appearances, so you should. And at 47 we also have Matthew Debussy. Next up on the list is a player with one of the best goal celebrations to grace the English game, and that growl alone puts Betafemi Gomi straight in at number 46. His 2 seasons at Swansea City resulted in 13 goals, which isn't actually that great, but well, did I mention his awesome celebration? 45, Charles Nzogbia. Sorry joking here, it's Charles Nzogbia. The French midfielder amassed 281 EPL appearances spread across 10 and a bit seasons. From Newcastle to Wigan Athletic, the wide man proved pretty useful going forward, and despite leaving the party like a deflated balloon with a string of poor performances at Aston Villa, let's remember the Nzogbia that won 2 French caps. Honestly, he did. 44, and it's a French defender who wasn't utterly useless at St James's Park, which makes a nice change. Putting the likes of Jean-Alain Boumsong deservedly to shame, Alain Goma was a Geordie stalwart, well, at times, and finished up his time in England with Fulham, where he also served as captain. Stepping into the current crop, and we have Chelsea's Tiémoué Bakayoko at 43 and Arsenal's Alexander Lacazette at 42. There's no doubt that Bakayoko will climb up this list over the next few years, but the 23-year-old defensive midfielder has a few more shifts to put in first. Likewise, Alexander Lacazette is hoping to live up to the hefty £46.5 million price tag, which made him the Gunners' most expensive signing ever, but he seems like he has hit the ground running, which is good. Arsenal fans don't look like they've got much patience left in the tank. 41, Laurent Blanc, the defender who Sir Alex Ferguson had chased his signature for so long that by the time he flew into Old Trafford, he was already 35. And initially looked past it. A dodgy start for the French CB evens itself out as Blanc claimed the title with United in 2003. A player who could break into the Manchester United legendary territory is hotshot Anthony Martial, and he comes in at 40. It's been an up and down start for life under Jose Mourinho, but you have to remember that Martial's only 21. With 18 league goals already in his EPL career, Martial is already one of the most exciting French players to have played in the division and could become one of the best. At number 39 we have Yohan Cabaye, an instrumental figure for Newcastle between 2011 and 2015. Cabaye was one of the most creative midfielders around, and despite rumours linking him with a move to Arsenal, he ended up at Crystal Palace. Things are not going great there. 38, and someone who did end up at Arsenal however, for a second stint, Matthew Flamini. The hard-working ball winner has few assists and goals to his name, but for 7 seasons at Highbury, then the Emirates, he was a key figure who averaged 20 starts per season. 37, things are beginning to hot up, like Remy. For QPR and Newcastle, Remy was the go-to guy, scoring 14 goals in the 2013-14 season and subsequently earning a 10 million move to Stamford Bridge. Now, just when you thought things were getting exciting, here's Bruno Fernandes. If you're not a Bolton Wanderers fan, it may be hard to jump at joy at the Frenchman's name, but Big Bruno went through 5 EPL seasons, starting every possible game, and showed that having played alongside the likes of Paolo Maldini at AC Milan, you can learn to be a decent defender. 35, Paul Pogba. 35, Paul Pogba. Now we're talking. Paul failed to razzle and dazzle on his maiden Premier League campaign, but second time around things are already looking more promising. The EPL expects a lot, mind, and consistency has its worth. That's why you're behind Ngoti Paul. It's my list, my rules. 34, let's get in and out with Hatem Ben Arfa. Didn't I just say consistency counts a lot? Well, that's definitely not Ben Arfa. But for his sheer flair and excitement when at his best, the tricky forward deserves his place at 34, at least for the incredible weaving run and finish he produced against Everton. Hats off to that. 33, and what if Djibril Cissé had a little more luck when it came to injuries? He didn't though. At full pace, Cissé was as feared as any other striker in the Premier League. Luck was never on his side. Still playing at 36 years old though, and in the Swiss 3rd division, Simply for the love of the game, how can you not love the iconic blonde-haired Cisse? 32, that guy who burst West Ham's bubble when he threw his dummy out and decided to leave. Yep, Dimitri Payet. Something of a 1.5 season wonder, Payet was sensational and his delightful free kicks will be played for years to come. Just wish you stuck around a little longer, mate. Moving across to the blue side of London at 31, and we have Florent Malouda. He wasn't exactly an eccentric, exciting and gripping player who you'd have plastered across the back of your shirt, but Malouda was reliable for the 5 seasons straight he played at Chelsea, boasting 20 assists and 35 goals. 30, taking Malouda's one title and doubling it, we have N'Golo Kante. Destined to be a Premier League great if Antonio Conte and co can keep hold of him, Kante has took to the EPL in emphatic fashion and led Leicester City to an extraordinary title victory before doing something similar with Chelsea. It's exhausting just watching him play. He keeps running and running and running and running and running. The next player has nearly 100 league goals, which is enough to slot him in at 29. Louis Saha. Saha gradually became less and less influential over his 13 Premier League seasons, finishing up without a goal to his name at Sunderland. But at Fulham, oof. Another long haul server in England's top tier, it's Morgan Schneiderlin. For Southampton, the French midfielder was simply outstanding as they comfortably re-established themselves as a Premier League team way back in 2012. It wasn't all smooth going at Manchester United, but that was a bumpy ride for everyone, and now he's at Everton with years left to play out his calm and collected game. 27, and it's the intelligent, incredibly positioned, water-carrying midfielder Didier Deschamps. At Chelsea he claimed the FA Cup trophy and is just one of those players that when you cast your memory back and think, yeah, he was quality. Finally, finishing our list for now at 26 is Deschamps' teammate Frank Lebeau. The central defender spent a little longer at Stamford Bridge, 5 seasons in total, winning 75 games. Side note, he's now an actor, so watch out for little Lebeau on the IMAX screens. That does it for our list of the 50 best French players in EPL history. Next time we'll be counting down from numbers 25 to number 1, so stay tuned to see whether the likes of Nicolas Anelka, David Ginola, Thierry Henry and Hugo Lloris will all feature. Remember to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video.